weekend that we had together, which was amazing. And the reason why I feel that I know that that work is so important is because it asks us to do something that's very challenging. And that is to look inward and see how in our unconscious there are these beliefs and patterns that we have been programmed into, cultured into, or brought up into around what it means, our relationships with other women. And, that's when we're speaking of, what a woman should look like, act like, be like, it's not only men that are looking at us with that. It is actually, in my own experience, mostly women. It is mostly women who perpetrate this sort of programming onto other women. And for me, when I started to really look inward and see what is my relationship with women? How many women friendships do I have? Are they of depth? Are they superficial? What do we talk about? What do I think when I see a woman do this or that? And so what I started to really notice, and I invite you tuning in who want to step into this courageous sort of self-reflection, is to see what are the things that you judge in women? What are the things that you, kind of criticize other women for? Or maybe not even outwardly, you may not say it, but really being honest about what are the thoughts that you are having. And then what you will realize, and because this, working with other women and myself, what you come to realize is that most of those things that we are thinking about other women speak directly into the things that we don't give ourselves permission to do, or that we judge ourselves for. And so it's a really beautiful thing when we can see it, that this sister wound, and I'm not talking about the sisterhood that, let's get together and prance around and dance, which is also a very beautiful thing. But for me, really dropping into sisterhood is dropping into acknowledging what is the filters and the crap that keeps me from actually seeing God in another woman. From seeing that, because if I cannot see God in another woman, I cannot feel God within myself. And so when you go into this self-reflection, just look at what are the things that, that you judge, or that you look at other women and, oh my gosh, she's wearing that, or oh, look how she's acting. One of the things, that I see it a lot in, Yvonne, is when women, when they, let's say that, their spouse cheats, or not even a spouse, a boyfriend, cheats. And it's so natural and easy for a woman to go look and check out the woman, to blame the woman. And she will forgive the man a lot easier than she does the woman, and so these little things, it's like that we have this need to feel like we're better than the next woman. And of course, this comes from that wound of like being chosen. We all want to be chosen, to some degree. And so those are the threads that we have to learn to surrender and to come to peace at. It doesn't mean that we're a shitty person. It doesn't mean that we're a bad woman, that we're a bad friend. It means that it takes radical self-responsibility and honesty to activate the divine gifts that are meant for a woman blueprint. Because how can we be trusted with this divinity when we do not take responsibility for what that takes? And it's like there's an aspect of preparing the temple for God to dwell in. We don't want to have dirty floors and dusty altars and, all of that. We want to really, where is that dust in that dark, shadowy corners? Let's bring the light to it so that we can really make space to create and birth what we say we want to create and birth. Not just, talk about it, but be about it.
Wow. I think this is not only a call to action, this is actually a call for the soul. And I think this, everybody, and especially my ladies, and also the gentlemen that are really, stepping into the support of the feminine, into the acknowledgement of how we can collaborate together, especially in these times. to be kings, queens, to be embodied leaders, because anybody can lead, but some people lead others astray. We got to lead from within to without. And the words of Anabel, they are a blessing. I think what you just said, I don't even want to add more words. I just want to remind everyone what you just said is for both the male and the female energy. Divinity. Yes. Everybody wants divinity. It requires responsibility. This is the words of Anabel. My beloved sister, thank you. Is there a blessing you would like to bestow to the audience? Is there any kind words? We're going to share, by the way, everyone, we're going to share her Instagram, her Facebook, her website, where you can meet and connect with her. She does one-on-one sessions. I highly recommend. She does sometimes, depending, on her times, on her schedule. She also facilitates workshops and events and, these initiatory gatherings that she does that I highly recommend. She's been invited in so many podcast shows, television, etc. So we'll put all of those links so you can get Anabel's blessing right now. And she doesn't have to do that for herself. We'll do that. My sister, your blessing. Yes.
Thank you, Yvonne. Thank you so much. And, what I would love to leave us with some words from Meister Eckhart, who I'm pretty sure you love and are familiar with. And it's this aspect of constant, that as both a woman and a man, we're in constant birth. It expresses differently, and my work is mainly with women, which is why I speak directly to women. But it really encompasses both of us, because the aim is union. At the end of the day, we need empowered queens and kings to come into union to really birth the kingdom of God. And this from Meister Eckhart is something that I love. And it says, what does God do all day long? God gives birth. From all eternity, God lies on a maternity bed giving birth. And that's from Meister Eckhart. And what that means for me is I am the doula of that work. I can birth God's work onto this plane. I am designed for it. And when I have the courage, I am empowered by it. And so I invite you, what is wanting to be divinely birthed through you? What is it? And commit to it and do everything that it takes. And I promise you, and I don't say this lightly, you will feel God's support. You will feel empowered to create your own kingdom, your own queendom, and to be of highest service on this planet, because that is our ultimate longing, to serve the divine. So thank you so much, Yvonne. And thank you to all of you for tuning in and allowing my words to come into your space. Thank you.
These were more than words. These were blessings after blessing, sacred teaching and reminders after teaching. That quote is one of my favorites. And that's a duty of our soul right now. We are all doulas of the creators, those of us who choose to do the labor, right? The sacred labor, the sacred, joyful labor. And both men and women. So thank you, beloved sister. Thank you, beloved friends, audience, that you listen to us, that you are helping us grow. We're growing thanks to you. We're birthing more together. And together, I'm a believer that we can rebirth humanity in joy for the evolving ascension of Earth. Thank you, everyone. And we will see you next time. Un beso. Adios. Thank you for listening to the Spirituality Now podcast. Be sure to subscribe on your favorite podcasting platform and share us with a friend. To learn more about how to live more present in the moment and take your faith into action, visit delaflorteachings.com/faith to access the free training of 21 Days of Faith in Action today.